Hey, y'all, hey, it's your girl, Delisa Robinson, the real estate diva, out here in these real estate streets. And I have literally been in the real estate streets, which is why I have not been doing as many lives as I normally do. So, with that being said, we are going to apologize on Instagram. I had to turn my do not disturb on because if somebody were to call me, you guys wouldn't be able to hear me anymore. So, today we are going to be talking about portfolio building and a new challenge that I have coming up. We're going to talk about, I'm going to give you some updates on some of my clients in the Get Wired Wholesale Academy because we are at the halfway point and some of them are kicking phenomenal butt. We're also going to talk about this thing called seller financing because a lot of you have inboxed me, a lot of people have DM'd me, and they want to know what are some other ways that they can get into real estate investing without having to put a whole lot of money down. So I'm going to give you seller financing today, and we're going to talk about how I purchased a $110,000 property with only $7,500 out of pocket, $800 a month, and I purchased it for $80,000. So I did $80,000. It's an $80,000 property. It's a duplex, and it cash flows. I put it up earlier today. I don't know if everybody saw it, but if you didn't, we're going to talk about it. So you don't need to be all out in the open looking at it and doing all this other stuff. So let's talk about it. First of all, let's talk about the rules of engagement. Rules of engagement when you're dealing with me, when you're on live with me, when you're live streaming with me, is this. If I say something that you don't understand, ask a question so we can clarify it. Because the last thing I want you to do is to walk away from here not knowing something or being confused by something, because it's not the purpose of me going live. The purpose of me going live is to educate and entertain, because that's what I do. Now, I'm going to keep it real and I'm going to keep it street, and I'm going to give it to you straight with no chaser so you guys have an understanding of what it is that we're going to do. I also ask, second rule of engagement, that you share this live. Share this live with your friends, with your families, tag a friend, tag a hustler or a hater, whoever it is, that they don't believe that you want to get into real estate, but they don't understand it. And they're just like, oh, that's not what you're going to do. Da, da, da. Tell them it's real. We can do it, and have them tap into this live. If you're on YouTube, subscribe. That would be even better. So follow, like, subscribe, and share. Let's do this. Now, for those of you who, if this is your first time, don't let it be your last. And if you've been here before, thank you for coming back. I appreciate you. So while we're on the topic of creative finance strategies, because that is what I specialize in, that is how I bought the majority of the properties that I bought over my 25 years in real estate investment. That's how I've done it, is by just being somewhere and seeing something and knowing how to have a conversation with people. Now, if you are new to this, let me explain. My name is Delisa Robinson. I am your favorite real estate diva out here slutting it up in the real estate streets. Why do we say slutting it up? Because I do a little bit of everything. I wholesale, I retail, I have a brokerage. I also do creative finance strategies. I have Airbnbs. I have a host of real estate properties. I've done and seen a lot of things. So that's why we say slutting it up, just to clarify for some of you. Now, what I would like you all to do, like I said, if you can hear the sound of my voice, please drop the number 1 in the comments. If you can share, if you can see me and hear me, drop the number 2. Okay. Now, what I would like to do today is to educate you on the process of seller financing. But before we do that, I have some congratulations that I have to get out because my students have been doing their thing. In my live stream absence, we've been behind the scenes doing some things and getting some things done. Number 1, I have 2 new clients. They're international clients. One of them has $200,000 that they're looking to spend. So all my wholesalers and realtors, if you have properties in Buffalo, Detroit, or Georgia, let me know because I have clients. Send them my way because I have some clients that are looking to purchase. Now, that's number, he's looking for duplexes and he's looking to Airbnb these duplexes. That's client number one. Client number two has $500,000 in US cash, and she is looking to build a rental portfolio. Get this, she's going to rent them out to Section 8 tenants. There it is. So for all of you people who say, oh, I'm on Section 8 and I can't find an apartment, here's your opportunity because she is going to be doing that. She's going to be doing that here in Buffalo. So if you are in Buffalo and you are looking for Section 8 housing, hit my inbox and let me know. Okay. Now, I'm assuming none of you can hear me because I don't see any number ones, but I'm going to keep going because I'm going to assume that you can. So if you can hear me, drop the number one in the chat. The more we engage with each other, the more information I give out. So let's do this. Now, client number 3 is looking for multifamily properties, anything between 2 and 4 units that has a minimum of 2 bedrooms in each unit. He doesn't want 2 up and 1 up and 2 down or anything like that. He wants 2 bedrooms in each unit, and he's looking to build a rental portfolio as well. He is not international, but he is from the Midwest, and he does not care where the property is located. As long as the numbers work, he will work. So that's how that's going to happen for you guys today, okay? Now, let's talk about the update on the Get Wired Wholesaling Real Estate Academy. We are in week 6 out of 12. And so far in week 6, I have one person who is she's getting ready to close. And if Sandy is on this live, she'll tell you she's getting ready to close. Not only is she getting ready to close on a rental property, she started out wanting to wholesale this property. And then she read the numbers and said it fits her portfolio. So she's keeping it for herself. So for those of you who are out there who feel like you don't need to know how to wholesale real estate, guess what? She found a property that she wanted to wholesale and she ended up holding it for herself. Because you're trying to build a portfolio. I tell everyone, wholesaling real estate is a fundamental course. It is the basic knowledge that you need as a real estate investor to run numbers, to locate properties, to do what the things that you want to do. And we integrate creative finance strategies into this process so that we can understand and build our portfolios. So that's what we're doing over there. Now, again, if you have any questions, remember, drop them in the comments because at this point in time, we are going to get ready to, after I finish these updates, we're going to get ready to get into the content. Our content today is seller financing. We're going to talk a little bit about why the seller would want to do something like this, how is it beneficial to you, and how you can build your portfolio with little to no money out of pocket using the seller financing method. That's what we're going to cover today. So for those of you who want to, so you still have time, share this live, tell a friend to come on in. That's how I feel. Okay. Now, so I have one student from the academy who is getting ready to close on a property. She thought she was going to wholesale it. Now she figured she wanted to keep it for herself. I have 3 students who are negotiating properties, and I have one student who is still looking, and I have the rest of them who are still in different stages of learning. So that's why this is why the program was 12 weeks, because people go at different paces. So out of what do we have in there? 10, 12 people who signed up and registered for that. These people some of them are getting one-on-one coaching based on what they opted in for. And they're doing the thing. Now, Sandy's property, let me tell you a little bit about Sandy's property. She bought a single family home, 3 bedrooms, 1 bath in New Orleans. $80,000 she paid for the property that has a tenant that's paying $1,000 a month. Section 8 tenant. She called Section 8. Section 8 said, no, we can increase that. So they're going to increase the rent to market rate, which will be $1,600. So not only did she just increase her cash flow, because I haven't even told you what her mortgage payment is going to be on this yet. Not only is she doing that, but she found this property. The lady wanted 95. She talked her down to 80. She's purchasing this property to keep it. It's got $1,000 paying tenant every month, guaranteed through Section 8. House needs no work, just some deep cleaning and maybe a little minor work. So she might have to come out of pocket with maybe about anywhere about no more than $5,000 to get little minor things done. And guess what? This house has appraised at $143,000. So not only is she walking into $63,000 in equity that she can pull out of this property and buy more property. That's number one. Number two, what she is also doing is she's increasing her cash flow because her mortgage payment, get this, is only $600 a month. And the rent she's going to get every month is $1,600 a month. So when I tell you that we are building empires, we are building 7-figure portfolios inside of this academy. We are. Is the academy for wholesaling? Yes. But if you come across a property that you want to keep, it makes sense to keep it, then you keep it. And that's what we're going to do. So for those of you who were thinking about it, the next academy, I'm sorry to say, will not be until after Thanksgiving for wholesaling. We have our portfolio building challenge coming up. This is not a course. This is just straight up getting ready to go into people who are ready to start building portfolios. They don't need a class. We're not going to teach. I'm going to be your guide. You're going to be in this small group because there will be no more than 10 teams. And the reason why I say teams is this, because this one is going to be for individuals and or teams. Okay? Individuals and or teams. It's not going to start until after the Wholesaling Academy is over. We're going to have an informational webinar in the middle of September. So keep that in mind for yourselves, okay? Now, let me update you on my Airbnb clients because they are doing phenomenal as well. Kim Burton has opened. She kept it a secret, but she's been open now since February of this year. And her Airbnb is going strong. And she's going to send me her profit. And I'm going to be able to tell you guys exactly what she's making. Then I have Corey and his lovely, lovely wife, Miss Lena, who owns a professional cleaning service here in Buffalo. They have just opened their first Airbnb this week, and they've already got 5 bookings. So when I tell you the methods work, you just have to work with the method, okay? God's Made Man. I'm not sure if you wanted to join me on this live, but if you do, you have to give me a second. If not, take that down. Okay, so if you can put that in the comments and let me know if that's what you wanted to do, and we'll see. Okay, now, and everybody knows Miss Mia, my 6-figure Airbnb extraordinaire student, one of them anyway. She is currently on vacation. What does she text me while she's on vacation? Oh, I found a house that I'm going to Airbnb. So while I'm down here, I'm going to set up another one. So she's in negotiations with a homeowner. And I think she's going to purchase this home. I'm not sure, but I know it's going to be something that she owns this time. And we will go from there. Now, so she's ready. This will be her 4th unit in 1 year. And she's doing phenomenal with it. So now grab your pens, grab your papers. Let's talk about seller financing. Now, okay, God's Made Man. Are you trying to join my live? I need you to comment in the comments if you're trying to join my live. If you don't comment in the comments, yes or no to confirm it, I'm not going to allow you to join because I know who you are personally. And I'm not exactly sure why you keep going in and out because it keeps going red and then it goes down. Goes red, then it goes down. So unless you confirm it, I need you to confirm it for me in the comments or I can't do it. Okay, now for seller financing. First of all, let's talk about this. What is seller financing? Seller financing is when the homeowner takes the place of your bank. Okay, I'm going to say it again. Seller financing is when the homeowner takes the place of your bank. So, how a normal transaction works is this. Normally, you would have a transaction where Susie the home buyer will go to the bank, request a loan to buy a house from Debbie Do Right. Okay. Now, Debbie Do Right is selling this home for $180,000. Susie says, okay, I want to buy this home. Debbie says, okay, the real estate agent negotiates, or they negotiate with their attorneys. However, if this off market, they probably did it themselves. Then you go to the bank and you get a loan for the purchase amount that you need. The bank does their process called underwriting. They go through, they pull your credit, they verify your income, they make you show bank statements, they make you prove your other bills and income. You have to explain where all the money came from in your bank account. And then they take you through the underwriting process, and then they say, okay, let's do this. And they send a check to the closing attorney or the title company in the name of Debbie Do Right. And you get keys. After you sign a million pieces of paper, you get keys and you're on your way. That is how a normal transaction would that's how a traditional transaction would take place. Well, in seller financing, it's just you and the seller. So we're going to take out Chase, Wachovia, Bank of America, KeyBank, M&T, Citizens, Navy Federal. We're going to take out all those people. They're no longer in the middle. So now Susie sees this house. She calls her up because she took, the Get Wire Wholesaling Academy, and she knows how to locate these properties. She calls this woman. She goes, hey, I was wondering, she says her spiel. I was wondering if you were interested in selling. Yes, I actually am. Can I come by and see it? She goes by, she sees the property. She loves it. It's perfect for her. Hey, okay, how much are you asking? I'm asking $180,000. Well, I would like to do that. However, here's what I would propose. I can pay you cash at $140. Well, Debbie Do Right doesn't want $140. She wants $180, even though her house needs a ton of work, and it doesn't work for her. So Susie goes, you know what? Hey, how about this? What do you own this property? Nothing. Okay, Miss Do Right, how about you be my bank? I pay you a monthly payment every month, and we negotiate our terms. That way you get 100% cash flow because you don't have to any longer worry about this property. I will be responsible for the materials, the maintenance. I will be responsible for the upkeep, the taxes, and every other thing else after that. Okay, you guys get what I'm saying now? All right, so then what happens is Debbie goes, why would I do that? And Susie goes, well, because for one, you will continue to receive income off of this property, although you no longer own it. How is that? Because I'll make my payments directly to you every month. You will be the bank. Your attorney will process lien mortgage paperwork and a promissory note to get this property in my name, but I still pay you a property. Well, how am I guaranteed to get my money? Well, if I don't pay you, then you can foreclose on the property just like the bank would. So that's how that works. Is there interest? If the two parties involved agree to interest, yes. Is there a down payment? If the two parties involved agree to a down payment, yes. Is there a monthly payment? Definitely yes. How does the monthly payments work? Depends on the terms of the contract. So that's seller financing in a sense. The seller, the homeowner, becomes your bank. Instead of you going out and getting a loan, they get it. Why would you do that? Because there's no credit check. So if you have challenged credit or risky credit, then you don't have to worry about a credit check. There's no income verification because if you don't have a job or you're self-employed and you don't keep good records, so you can't prove your income, that is why. Is there a debt to income ratio or income documents or other debts to be considered? No. When you seller finance, there's no credit check, there's no income verification, and there's no DTI or proving where all your money came from. There's no income verification. There's no debt verification. There's no credit verification. Okay? This is why seller financing works for the people. Now, if you're interested in seller financing, drop a yes in the comments. I'll be more than happy to get in contact with you and explain more about the process. Okay, so this is seller finance again, is when your seller becomes the bank. Okay, all right. Number 2, you can seller finance. Can you seller finance land? Yes. Can you seller finance Lude de Barber? Inbox me, sweetie, so we can get your information. I can give you a call. I wrote your name down, but I'm gonna do that. How do you feel about hard money? I'm going to talk to you about hard money loans in just a few minutes, but yes, I like hard money loans if they're done right. So when you can seller finance any real estate, okay? You can seller finance a mobile home, you can seller finance land, you can seller finance a commercial building, you can seller finance multifamily, singles, duplexes, whatever it is, a tiny house, whatever it is, you can seller finance. And the reason why is because you can seller finance anything that does not have a mortgage, unless you are willing to take second position to the mortgage that's going to be in place. Let me explain. A while ago, we had Miss Sabrina Allen on live on At the Round when she was at the closing table with us. And we talked about how she buys banknotes and how she funds real estate transactions and things of that nature. And she becomes first or second lien holder. Now, as a lien holder, the first lien holder is always going to be your mortgage. So say Debbie Do Right wants $180,000. My mortgage is only for $140,000, but I want her, and I get her to seller finance the other $40,000. See how that works? That's how now she is going. That's the only way you can seller finance if there's a mortgage in place. Okay. All right. Now, why would a seller do this? Cash flow. It's the only reason. It's the only reason I can think of anyway. They get their asking price and they get cash flow. Simple. Especially today, I saw 2 properties on our local MLS here in Buffalo. These properties had both been, one had been on the market for 409 days. The other one had been on the market for 316 days. That is unheard of in this current market. Whether it's a seller's market or a buyer's market, it doesn't matter. Now, some people will ask in the sense of hard money loans. When you're doing hard money loans and you are financing, you have to come up with a certain percent down, the appraisal and all this other stuff. So it rounds out to be about 30-35% of the cost of the property. Now, say you don't qualify for 70%. You only qualify for 50% of the loan to value of the property. Then what you're going to do is you're going to say, hey, I only qualify for 50%. So in this case, that would be 90,000. Where am I going to get this other 90,000? So the hard money loan gives you 90,000. You only have to come up with, like I said, 35% of that 90,000. Whereas then Debbie Do Right can seller finance the rest. Okay, so in essence, you'll have 2 mortgages instead of 1. But to answer the question from Big Ant the Boss, hey. Sorry guys, something just got into my eye and it is burning the heck out of my eye right now. So I think I got it. Okay. So what Ant asked me about hard money loans. Do I like hard money loans? What are my opinions on hard money loans? I'm fine with it as long as you do it right. With a hard money loan, you have to have a guaranteed way to pay that back. And the problem with hard money loans that most people don't have in place is the repayment plan. What's going to happen if the house doesn't sell as quickly as possible? You still have to pay this mortgage. And a lot of people, a lot of first-time flippers, a lot of first-time investors who take out these hard money loans end up in foreclosure because they don't understand that. A hard money loan has what they call, if you're doing it to purchase and repair, they have what they call the draw process. And I'm going to go back to seller financing in just a second. The draw process is where you will take the draw process is where you will take the payment. You have to have money up front. So say the project, the construction budget is $40,000, $50,000, and they're only going to give you 100%. They'll give you 100% of the construction budget. Well, you still have to have money to start the project, because they're not going to give you that $40,000 up front. They're going to give you none of it. Actually, they're going to hold it back in like an escrow account. What happens then is you're going to put down, say you have 10,000, and you're going to put that 10,000 down to get the job started. That's going to be your demo. If you're flipping a house, it's going to be your demo and clean out. That's going to be your permits. That's going to be your maybe started getting the materials for your roof, maybe getting your electric done, maybe getting your plumbing done, maybe getting your HVAC done, maybe. There's a lot of maybes, but for $10,000, the only thing you're getting done at that point is material to start the work based on what the cost of the construction budget will be, the renovation budget. So then what's going to happen is that once you finish that demo and clean out, you got your permits, you did say you put in the electric, okay? You're going to call the bank. Or you're going to go online, depending on which lender you do this with. You're going to go online, or you're going to call the bank, and you're going to schedule an inspection. They're going to send their construction inspector out to your project. That project is then he's going to walk through with a checklist. He's going to check off everything you've done, and then he'll send you a check. Or they'll direct deposit the funds into your account. However, it depends on the lender and how you have it set up. So then what they're going to do is they're going to put that money directly into your account. And then now you have the money to do the next part of the job. And then they do it all over again. So you're actually not going to be able to take any money out of this until the job is done, sweeties. Okay. So do I like hard money loans? Sure. But they have to be done a certain way. Best avenue for off-market properties, PropStream or something else. I'm going to say it like this. If you know how to wholesale, you know how to look for the properties that you want off market, you know how to go in and you know how to search for it. You can search for it on Zillow. You can search for it you can do PropStream, Zillow, PropWire is another one. Landglide, Deal Machine. There's a ton of them. Driving for Dollars. However you want to do it, you can get it done that way. So that's how that is getting done. And so, I mean, I use them. I use all my methods. I go through Facebook Marketplace. I've gone through Facebook Marketplace. I've gone through PropStream. I've gone through Driving for Dollars. I've done Landglide. I've done Deal Machine. I've done it on Zillow, Craigslist, wherever properties are for sale. I do a lot of FSBOs that way, to answer your question. Excuse me. God's made man. Sweetie, I asked you before if you're trying to go live with me. You didn't answer, so please stop. Okay, so please stop trying to come live because I'm not going to bring you up. Now, you said break down Zillow. Zillow is just a search engine. Zillow is like Google for real estate. So it's no different than Realtor.com, Redfin, ForSaleByOwner.com. It's the same thing. You go in, you put in your criteria, and you search for it. And you're going to get a lot of properties, whether they're for sale, because you can go in and say for sale, off market. You can look up comps by saying sold. It's a whole different type of process, and it's a whole different kind of it's a different ball game on Zillow. You have to know a lot of people don't like Zillow, but that's because they're looking at the numbers. Don't look at numbers on Zillow. Those estimates are never right. Sometimes they're within 10 grand maybe, but they're never actually right, because a Zestimate is an average of the homes that have been sold in the area to give you what your Zestimate should be, or what your estimated home value should be. But guess what? That's different. And I always use this analogy when I say it. If you and I both if you make $150,000 and I make $150,000, then the average income in the room is $150,000. But if Bill Gates walks in the room, or Mark Zuckerberg or Elon Musk walk in the room, and you divide that by just the 3 people that are there, that income level is going to go into the billions. And neither one of us make $1 billion. So that's how Zestimates work. So I don't recommend the Zestimate. Sometimes it gets close. I mean, they've gotten better over the years and they've gotten closer, but it hasn't been that way for it. They started out really, really wrong, and it just really got really, really bad really fast. So they don't do it now. So we talked about what seller financing is. We've talked about what you can seller finance. When should you use seller financing? People who use seller financing, like I said, they have challenged credit. They either have challenged credit, or they might have good credit. They just don't want to use their credit, and they want to put minimum amount down. So it all depends on it depends on the person and the situation. There are people, like I said, if you don't want your credit ran, seller finance. If you don't want to prove all your income, you can't prove all your income, seller finance it. It's a no-brainer. That's how it is, So are there any other questions you guys would like to ask about the process of seller financing? Anything? Because I wasn't anticipating on being on here long, but I will stay on as long as you guys have questions. Like I said before, just to remind you guys, we are going to be doing a portfolio challenge. This is where we're going to build a 7-figure cash flowing portfolio. I can't wait. That's going to start in September. Oh, you're welcome. And Big Ant, if you have any other questions or whatever, just inbox me and let me know. It's no big deal. Text, guys, if you want to know, I do these trainings. I'm back to normal, and I'm going to be doing some trainings and going live randomly throughout the weekend. Between now and Sunday, I'm going to be randomly going out. If you want notice of when you're going to be going out or when I'm going to be going live, text the word Diva to 716-306-3316. I send out a text message for live alerts right before I go live. I also send out when I'm doing free classes and things like that. That goes to that group of people first. It goes to my text message list and my email list first. And then if the seats get taken up by them, then it's not open to the public. But if it doesn't get opened by them, then if they don't take up all the seats, and it doesn't get, then it gets open to the public. Okay. Now, remember, shout out to Corey, Kim, and Mia for their successful Airbnbs that they have just recently. Some of them are recently opened. Some opened 6 months ago, and one is getting ready to open. She's negotiating price. Shout out to Sandy for her purchase. Yeah, we're excited. We're doing a lot of things. My students are really, really starting to grasp that concept of what they're going to be doing and how they need to be doing it. And they are kicking butt in these real estate streets. Now, with that being said, the doors to in these real estate streets, which is my coaching program, are open. If you want the link, you can DM me and say the word coaching. If you DM me the word coaching, I will be more than happy to send you the link and let you sign in and register. I am only taking a certain amount of people. That's why it's not a public thing right now. And we're revamping the process. For example, my wholesaling course is 3.5 hours long. The video for it, the instruction video for the course is 3.5 hours long. We are going to remove that 3.5 hour video because I notice a lot of my students are not getting through the full video. And we are going to break it down into bite-sized pieces of about 30 to 45 minutes each section. And we're going to put it in sections and we're going to start getting that out. I also have the Seal the Deal package. This one will be available to you this Friday. Seal the Deal is all of the paperwork that you will need during your real estate journey. Your purchase and sale agreement, the assignment contract if you're wholesaling, the letter of intent if you're buying big buildings, your JV agreement, your non-disclosure agreement. We're going to have your cancellation contract. We have your commission agreement if you're working with a licensed real estate agent, but it's an off-market property. You want to do your commission agreement. We're going to also have, and there's one more, I can't remember what it is. Oh, an addendum. So an addendum is used to make changes to a contract after the contract has already been signed. And we're going to be going over those this weekend. I'll be going over all of those forms and stuff with you just to let you know. But not only are we going to have those contracts in the bundle, but we're going to have a video for each contract explaining to you how to use it and how to complete it. So that you're not just going into it blind. And that's what a lot of people do. They say, oh, you want my paperwork? Here's my paperwork. But then they don't show you how to they don't show you how to use it. So that's what we're going to do. For New York State only, because I'm in Massachusetts, absolutely not. The forms I give you can be used nationwide. I always suggest once you get the forms, you can send them to your title company or your real estate attorney and ask them, is it okay for you to use this form? 9 times out of 10, they're going to say yes. If they don't say yes, then ask them for the form that they want you to use. Because some of them have preferred forms that they want you to use. So that's all it is. But yes, I use these forms nationwide and I haven't had an issue yet. Okay. Now, with that being said, let's do this. So we have any other questions regarding seller financing? Because this is something that we go through in my coaching class, in my coaching program in These Real Estate Streets. And These Real Estate Streets is a 1-year program where you will get 4 separate modules. You get the first module is how to structure your business, how to build your teams, how to go into it. The second module is creative finance strategies. Then we go into portfolio building. And then we go into flipping houses. So that is the strategy for it. And when I tell you we go deep into each different topic, we go deep into each different topic. For wholesaling, it's broken down into like 6 or 7 videos now. Airbnb is in the portfolio building section. And we talk about how to do your Airbnbs, how to set it up, how to build a team, what you need to do with the team, the best things to use for decorating, the most successful items you should have. Like in one of my Airbnbs, I have a wine bar and I put a new bottle of wine out for each new guest. And it just depends on, and you have to be 21 nobody under the age of 21 can rent that unit or be in the unit. So that's a no kid friendly unit. And things like that. So we teach you how to do that. We teach you how to do midterms, short, mid, and long-term rentals. We have in the portfolio building. We also go through landlord tenant laws. We go through, and we do the basic fair housing laws because every state has their own particulars. Then we also go into I call it the 7 phases of flipping a house. That's the 4th module. We talk about the landlord tenant relations, the move-in, the onboarding process, landlords, how to onboard your tenants, because this can make or break your tenant experience. And a lot of people get really testy about stuff like that. So this is how we onboard our tenants and things like that. So when I tell you it's a 1-year program, you have 1 year to get through all 4 modules and do what you have to do with it. And can you continue to use it after the 1 year? Yes, but you don't have to pay the whole 1 year price. You can pay a lesser amount. But for the most part, people are able to get through a year if they're focused and disciplined to stay with the program. Now, I'm going to get up and get out of here because your girl is fasting. Sun up to sundown, nothing but liquid, no meat until the end of the month. And I haven't eaten all day, and the sun is getting ready to go down, and I have to figure out what I'm going to eat for dinner, especially since my kids aren't here. So I will be back on tomorrow, probably earlier in the day, because I have Wholesale Academy tomorrow evening. Now, I normally go on about 7-ish, heavy on the ish, especially if I get caught up doing something else, but normally about 7-ish. So be prepared. I got some special guests coming up. We have a lady contractor coming up. I can't wait. Excited to talk to her. We're just going to talk about different things with the flipping process and other things. Okay. So stick with your girl. I'm back. Had to take a break because I needed to catch up on some things. I had things that were getting ready that were going completely haywire. So I just said, okay, what can I cut right now? Live streaming. And I can just focus on the back end of my business. And that's what I did. And it worked for me. So now that I've gotten that settled, I'm back. All right. So the word for the month of August is discipline. So if you missed it, if you are interested in joining in and tapping into the live streams, text the word DIVA, DIVA, that's me, to 716-306-3316. And you will get a text message right before I go live. Usually comes out about 10-15 minutes before I go live. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Big Anther Boss, inbox me and we can set up something so we can talk. Okay. I'll talk to you later. Remember what I always tell you guys. You can be anything you want in this world. I just hope you choose to be kind. Because at some point in your life, someone was kind to you. It's always a cool thing to just pay that kindness forward. Not only does it make you a good person, but if enough people do it, it makes the world a better place. Have a great night, and I'll see you in these real estate streets. Bye.